You're listening to the Beats and Bars podcast hosted by BATTL Beats. This podcast is out there to shine a light on the most slept on and underrated rappers and producers.
It's BATTL, baby!
Alright, hey guys, what's up? It's BATTL Beats here on the Beats and Bars podcast. We're joined with a very special guest. We have got LLB. How's it going, bro?
All good, all good. Thanks for having me.
No, you're welcome, you're welcome. So, for those who don't know, LLB is a fellow producer like myself. He is also from the UK. However, he lives in Cyprus, which is pretty cool. Is it nice and warm over there?
It's slightly too hot. It's not too bad though. It's starting to cool down a little bit, but yeah,
Nice.
It's still quite uncomfortable. Still need the aircon. So,
What was the lockdown restrictions like over there? Because it's been a pretty crazy few months in England.
yeah, I mean, it wasn't too bad. In the beginning, it was fairly strict. So, before we moved into this place, the lockdown started like when we was living up in the mountains with my girlfriend's parents, and we literally, well, I didn't leave the house for like 2.5 months, maybe about 2.5 months, and after that, then I could like send a text to this number to get a text that tells me I'm allowed to go out, and then if I get stopped, then someone could tell me. But yeah, it took a while. I was just stuck inside, just nothing to do except make music.
Very nice. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one thing that has been sick for me is because I've not been at work because of the government paying a percentage of my wage. I've literally just had so much time to make music, to focus. I've really been hammering marketing and just trying to get myself to understand a little bit better and just try and grow BATTL Beats really, which is really cool.
Yeah, how's that going?
Yeah, it's going good. It's slow and steady, but I'm enjoying every single step. I feel like I'm learning more and more as I go, and I've learned to realize that it's okay to go at a slow process. It's okay for
Definitely.
slow process. Whereas, if you just trust me a year or two ago, I was like, right, yeah, I want to be full time doing this whole thing by the end of 2019, whatever, and it just doesn't happen. So I'm just enjoying it on the way, trying new things, getting to know more people because I believe that more people the better connections you have, it can help you and stuff like that. So really just trying to hone in, but getting better at making beats as well, mixing. I've been doing a lot of mixing. So
I've noticed you've gone for like the lo-fi style at the minute, and that's it looks like it's working for you, man. I like those beats that you make. They seem to suit you a lot more.
Yeah, so if any of my friends who know me, they know I'm like a laid back guy. I'm just super chill in general, and I never really was into like trap that much, but I decided, right, I'm going to learn how to make trap beats anyway. But then it was only recently, past, it's probably since the whole COVID thing. So the past 6 months, I went through all my beats and I thought, you know what, there's actually more boom bap, chiller, lo-fi type beats. So I feel more comfortable doing that. So I'm just gonna roll with that. And if someone wants trap beats, yeah, I'm still making them. I'm just not I'm just don't get as hyped by them. So I think that's more my producer journey, is just finding out what works for me. Because when I first started, my beats were just what they were, but I just feel much more comfortable in that lane. But what was it like for you? When did you really start getting into making beats and stuff? Because I remember, like, this is going to sound really random, but I remember like seeing one of your posts from like 2016 on like a hip hop group on Facebook. Like, hey, does anyone want some beats, whatever?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Back in the old spamming days, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So what was it like? When did you get into beats?
If I was to go like way back, it'd be like when Timbaland dropped Shock Value. Do you remember that album?
Yeah.
Like 2006 or whenever it was. And that got me into music, so I downloaded FL Studio, just the trial. I played around with it for a while, then left it for ages, went through school. And then in my first year at uni, I started doing it again, like at the back end of my first year. And then I started doing it as a hobby, just making beats in my room, but at the end of the day. And then my third year at uni, over the summer, I really like started making lots and lots of beats. They were still trash, but I was making lots of beats. And then in 40, I was like fully onto it. I wasn't onto the whole, selling them or anything, but um, I recently went over that summer. I went to my girlfriend's parents in Cyprus. We just went for a holiday, and they're both musicians. And one of them said, her mother-in-law said, you should sell these. I was making beats, and she's like, you should sell these. I was like, really? I had no idea you could sell anything. And then yeah, I looked into it, and then I was just like, yeah, I may as well give this a try and just see what
Yeah,
happens
yeah.
with it, because I'm not going to use my degree, so I'm
What's your
just gonna
degree in, by the way?
sport and exercise science.
Ooh, lovely. On a,
Yeah.
on a, on a side note, I did see that you like playing basketball in your vlogs. You're often
Yes.
shooting hoops. It's
Yeah.
random because when I was in school in like year 8, when you just get put in like random classes with random people that you've never met before from different forms and things. I
Yeah.
ended
Yeah.
up having to sit next to this guy, and he was like really cool. We got on really well, and he was like, "Oh, me and my friends play basketball at lunch. Do you want to play with us?" I was like, "Yeah,
Right.
sweet." And then since like pretty much at the start of year 8 up until like the last day in year 13, we used to play like basketball almost like every lunch break.
Nice.
We just
Nice.
loved it. So I
Yeah,
did a
man,
lot of
it's good.
sports. I did rugby as well. Do you have a team?
Basketball team or
Yeah,
football
basketball
team or
team.
rugby team?
No, just basketball.
Um, it used to be the Celtics when Garnett was playing,
Yeah,
and
KG.
KG and Ray Allen and Rondo and
Mm,
Pierce, obviously. But
yeah.
yeah, I kind of swayed away. I just started following players. Like I followed Melo for a while. Still
Mm,
like watching him now because he's managed to find a team.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, he did
Lillard,
quite well
yeah,
actually. Yeah, that was what I was
yeah. I'm
like.
surprised. I'm
So
surprised he found a team.
yeah, so early on in when I was into basketball, Kobe was just like I was just this guy's sick. I'm going to support Lakers because my
Yeah,
mate that I mentioned supported the Celtics and he was always wearing a Paul Pierce jersey. So I was like, well, I'm not just going to support them. I'm going to support the Lakers. So we had that cool rivalry
yeah.
going on, and then the Lakers got really bad. So from like 2014 to like 16, I just didn't really follow basketball at all. And then we drafted Brandon
Yeah.
Ingram, and then I was like, yeah, starting to get into it. That was like four,
No fault.
4 or 5 years. I can't remember. 2016. So then I got really back into basketball, and then we got LeBron James, and now we're up for potentially winning a championship. So you really got into making
Yeah.
beats seriously over the past sort of few years, really, and then you've sort of been on a journey since then. It's really cool to see. We've probably been DMing back and forth, liking each other's posts and things, probably for the past 2 years, and I've definitely seen a lot of growth in you and your beats, your confidence, and your followers and
Mm.
subscribers and all of that. What would you say is the I know you like to talk about gems a lot. So what would you say the gem is to your sort of steady growth?
Um, it's not been, to be honest, it's not been steady, and it's like it's been it's hard. Like it's quite difficult to. I'm sure you know this. It's so hard to stay motivated at certain times, especially in the beginning. I think that's probably the most difficult part because I saw like Kyle Beats, and at the time it was, what's his name, Taz or Internet Money, and there's another guy, and they used to do vlogs, and they used to like do their beat making vlogs and stuff. And I check out their YouTube channels, and one of the guys only had like 3 videos, and he had like tons of subscribers, lots of views and stuff. I was like, this is like this seems pretty easy. So I'll just whip the camera out, start recording myself making beats and stuff. Um, Started doing it, uploaded like 5 or 6 videos, nothing, just like 50 subscribers. And at that point, when you're making videos, you don't really know what's a good video, like because you're too biased towards your own stuff because it's
Yeah, yeah,
something new to you, you're nervous, you're just excited to do stuff, so you think whatever you're putting out is good. So I just kept making videos, and then I had like a whole period of, and I put this on one of my tutorials, of commenting on as many type beats as possible. So I just search type beat, and then filter it to the last hour, and then just go through the whole list, like, comment, like a genuine comment, not like follow for follow or anything. And then subscribe to them, and then just rinse and repeat that process like all day, for like 5 or 6 months. And then that was what got me the growth and got me, got people coming to my videos and liking and commenting and being engaged. And then yeah, it was just up and down in terms of motivation. Still wasn't getting many views, had lots of subscribers, still wasn't getting what I thought the videos were worth. And then it was only this year really that I really stopped, took a step back and then said, I need to do this super consistent, at least every other day, really focus on the quality of the content, learn more about how to film stuff properly. And yeah, this is probably the year where it's gained more traction with it. So
Yeah, so I
long
noticed that.
time.
Yeah, it definitely is. I noticed that you said that you went all in on YouTube sort of from Christmas. You decided, right, I'm going to go all in, and just make regular content, which I think is really cool. And you can see that you've had growth from that. I looked at your channel and I was like, what? He's got 14K already. Like I was like, whoa, that's sick. Because I remember you not having as many as that. I was like, oh wow, that's no, hats off to you. You've killed it. But what was it?
Oh,
What was it? What was it like? What made you decide that? Because there's times where I was like, right, I'm gonna make a shit ton of YouTube videos, and then after 2 weeks of solid uploads every day, I'm like, right, I got no more ideas. So what made you like?
yeah.
What made you just be like, right, I'm doing this, and we'll see how it goes.
Well, it was, I don't know, it's just lots of different things, lots of little things allowed me, it allowed me to have an epiphany and, think, I need to do this all the time, basically, because
Yeah.
it doesn't work. I mean, it works for some people that spend, like weeks on one piece of content that's really, really good. And then they put it out and, it blows up like, like bad lip syncing, for example, because that takes them weeks to find
Yeah,
all the clips.
and like epic rap battles release one once a
Yeah,
month, and it gets millions of views.
exactly. Yeah. So I was like, I'm making beats. I'm vlogging myself making beats. So I need to do this way more regularly. That was one thing. And then some of the videos that I'd experimented with, in the past year, how to sell beats on Instagram, that did really well. That's like one of my second most popular videos. And a couple others, but mainly the ones about selling beats tended to work for me off on the channel. So I was just like, I looked at Prod by Ocean, his YouTube channel, and Kyle Beats and lots of other people, and they all sort of stick to a similar theme, especially in the title. So I was like, I'm just gonna make beat selling videos and then do vloggy stuff and slowly introduce that as well. I'm just going to do that as many times as possible and just try to come up with something new every time, something that something that's not already out there, and then just see what happens with it. So I figured that out, and I was like, okay, so I just need to do this every other day, not worry about the views, don't worry about having to run ads on my videos, not have to worry about trying to get more subscribers, just pound the same keywords and just do that, focus on the content. And yeah, that it works. It just works.
Yeah, it's really cool. And I think it's really cool. I enjoy, I mean, my YouTube channel has, I think, 143 subscribers, but like I notice every single one. It's like, right, I've earned that one subscriber, and I guess like you must feel like with 14,000, you're like, yeah, I've earned those subscribers. It's like I remember listening to Gary V, and he was saying that in the olden days of Twitter, he used to just search Pinot Noir as a hashtag, and then like retweet or comment on every single post that is using that hashtag. And he used to see a lot of organic growth from that. And it's good to know that you've done that with Type Beats, because I think I'm going to start doing that. A few 20 minutes a day or whatever. And I think it's a great idea, because I definitely think YouTube is such a great way to monetize your skills as a producer. And there are a lot of producers doing it, and you do have to stand out. And like you said, your beat making videos have stood out for you. I'm still in the process of figuring out what I think is going to be my sort of thing, because I put out YouTube videos where I'll explain things, but I'm still figuring it all out. But it's great to see that you found
Yeah.
your lane and you're sort of rolling with it. I find that
Mm.
really, really cool. But why don't we talk about quickly? I noticed in one of your videos you was like, right, I'm going all in on YouTube. I need to like have a uniform. Do you want to just let us know what your thought process was behind that? Because it reminds me of someone that I'll say in a moment, but once you've gone into it a little bit.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So I think it was just before Christmas. We were still living up in the mountains at my girlfriend's parents' house, and um, I flew back home to the UK for Christmas, and I was just like, because the routine was so all over the place, because we had 12 dogs at the house. So, things were always coming and going. So like every day the routine was completely different, and I was having to like squeeze everything in. So like I'd have to rush videos, and then I'd have to try and make a beat at like midnight when everyone's gone to bed, with my headphones on, and then just it was just different every day, and it was really hard to be consistent with everything because you forget stuff and whatnot. So
Mm.
when I went home, I was like, right, I'm going to get up the same time every morning, especially even when I go back to Cyprus, same time every morning. Um, just go through the normal routine. Wake up, wash up, clean up, take a quick shower, whatnot, and then just have like not even have to think about it, but just have some set clothes, open the wardrobe, throw some clothes on, but feel like you're in a working state of mind. So I just thought I'm going to order a lot of black teas, some like smart joggers, and then I'm just going to wear them throughout the week, and then
Yeah.
that'll be my stuff. Because I'm working from home, I don't want to. It's hard. It's quite difficult to say because you have to differentiate between, because you're working from home, but it's also your home, so you have to kind of find time to
Yeah, yeah.
relax. And I'm sure you know this. It's really difficult to do both.
Yeah, so basically what you're saying, you wanted to eliminate as many decisions and distractions as you could. So just having
Yeah.
simple clothes it just makes it easier. It's what Mark Zuckerberg does. Did you know that?
Yeah, I think I watched them like years ago. That's just reminded
Yeah,
me,
yeah,
like years and
yeah.
years ago.
That's what Mark Zuckerberg does. He always wears a white T-shirt unless he's has to wear a suit for whatever reason. But he was like,
Yeah,
I've got so many other decisions that I've got to make throughout the day. I don't want to have to decide what I'm going to wear each day. So I'm just going to buy a load of white T-shirts and navy jeans, and that's just going to be what I wear.
yeah,
Which I thought was just super cool. And I guess, you want to keep your mind fresh and creative for the music. So spending
yeah,
20
exactly.
minutes deciding what to wear, oh, maybe I need to iron this, whatever. I
Yeah,
think it's great. But
yeah, exactly.
I was watching one of your videos and I really liked what you did with what's the video? It was where you was like stacking a melody with as many different things as possible, and then you bounced it out. You reduced the sample rate,
Mm,
and then you added the drums. So
yeah,
when I make beats, I love having lots of different melodies um, at various different times in the beat, so it keeps it interesting. So you're like stacking that melody with different layers, so it sounds nice and rich, and it's
mm,
just a full melody. Because I see a lot of producers literally with like chords and then like a counter melody, like a lead synth on top. Then they've got the drums,
yeah,
and sometimes they just sound a little bit like empty. And I really liked seeing that video of yours because you'd like layered the melody to the point where it was rich and it had everything you needed, so that throughout the beat it wasn't just the two same sounds going on the whole time, and it just kind of mixed it up.
yeah,
Do you want to just talk a little bit about why you
yeah,
do that and stuff?
yeah. So I actually started. There's a producer I watched on the Producer Grind podcast. He like came into one of those morning sessions.
Mm,
It's called Pale 1080, I think, and
right.
talking about like he'd only been uploading beats for like a year and a half, but he was doing it every day, every single day, and then he started making, and now he's making a living. So I went and checked out his beats, and his beats are really nice, especially his melodies, and they're really like down sampled, but there's tons of stuff going on, and I just really like that sound. So I was like, I'm just going to try and make my melodies way better, because I was the same. I was like, a few chords, maybe lay the chords up a bit, top melody, a pad or something in the background, and that was it. But yeah, so I just spend like half an hour every time I make a beat now. Spend like half an hour making just the melody. You know, start off with a little something a little catchy, and then you just stack some chords on top of it, and then exact same chords but with a different VST, and then maybe the exact same top melody but just with a different sound, and then you just put that all into one pattern, and then I put it into the, you know, where you arrange the beat. I just sort the whole melody into a full arrangement before I even, you know, think about adding drums. And, you know, add all the effects that I need to, you know, mix it before I need to add in the drums. It just seems to be a cleaner workflow, you know, just getting a really cool melody. And it makes you think more about the melody, and it makes you think more about like the quality of the beat in that way. But you can still do it fairly quick. You know, you can still crank.
I
So
like
yeah, that was normally, that was sort of how I, you know, started to do stuff like that with my melodies.
Yeah, nice. What would, because I know that you've talked about before how you know you like selling your drum kits and stuff like this, and you know they've done all right for you. Are you looking at getting into more sound design, sort of selling melody loops, drum kits maybe, or is that something that you've done or maybe won't do again, or you might really go in on it again, or where are you standing with that?
I want to. I think it's just timing at the minute, because I do all these videos about selling beats and how to grow and all this kind of stuff. So it'd be a little bit counterintuitive to me to just be selling melody packs and loop packs and drum kits. But I really want to do that as well. So because the thing is, like, to make a really good drum kit and a good loop kit that people, you know, that's worth what you're charging, you know, I want to spend, you know, a decent amount of time doing it. So yeah, I want to get into it, but at the same time, I want to be credible, you know. So the advice I'm giving on my YouTube is legit, you know, and keep up to date with all the stuff, you know, that when it comes to selling beats. So that's like the main focus at the minute. But I think, you know, in a few months' time, you know, just see what position I'm in a few months' time, and then when I can find some more pockets of time in the day, I'll probably will. I need to put more producer stuff out, to be honest. But yeah, it's just
because I think I know, if we're talking business as such, you've got probably 99% of your followers or subscribers are producers. Well, maybe not that.
Yeah.
That's a large amount. Maybe, you know, it might, I don't know what percentage. Say it's like 80-20 producers over rappers, and then randomers who just enjoy watching music producers make beats.
Yeah.
You know, you've got such a large producer audience. It would be a shame if you could not like monetize that even more with kits, and you know, because producers just go mental for buying kits and melodies and things, because they just want to be just standing out different or whatever. But it's really cool to know that you might do it one day, you might not. I've linked up with someone, and we're actually
I think I will. I think I will. Yeah, because I put out the Uncharted kit and the Artemis kit, and all the kits, but both of those two kits have done well, and they stayed doing well for quite a while. So to be honest, it's probably a no-brainer for me to do it. So I really should do it. Like, even you know who Ready Made is?
No,
Ready
don't know who
Made.
that is.
He's a type beat producer, but he's doing quite well in the industry as well. Him and there's another guy called Speaker Bangers. He's done a few songs for Rod Wave.
Oh, nice.
Even those two bought the kit. I was like, I saw it on BeatStars. I was like, nah, no way. Like, not that good.
That's it.
Yeah, then I checked it and I was like, Jesus Christ! I was like, what the hell? I mean, it was only like $30, but it was cool to know that they
and
liked the kit.
you never know what record it's going to go on as well. That's cool. Have you heard of Decap?
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Decap? No, I don't think so.
Decap's like this big producer that has a lot of industry, Grammys and shit, and he makes a drum pack called Drums That Knock. You must have heard of Drums That Knock.
What's his name?
Decap.
Anyway,
check him out, because he's literally known for making drum samples. He's like, I've never bought any of his kits.
He's what, sorry?
Decap.
Just broke up a little bit then.
He's known for making like drum samples and stuff, and he's had his drums on all sorts of records, and he's sick. I need to buy one of his kits because I've never bought one, but yeah, he's really good, and he literally just makes bank on these. He spends ages making a volume of this drum bank, and then as soon as it drops, all these industry producers are all buying his kit. It's like he's got like the best
Genius.
drums, which is really cool. But what was it like getting the Shorty Shore placement? Because I know that you were, from what I gather, you were pretty buzzing about that.
Yeah, it was weird. It's kind of bittersweet, to be honest. But so yeah, I was thinking, I need to, if I want to get a placement, at least one major placement, especially if like I'm trying to sound credible on my videos, because I could say anything, and it could, having that placement and having the sales to back everything that I'm saying up makes it way more credible. And like,
Yeah,
I don't want to be putting out information that's not genuine, because if I tell someone to do one thing and they go spamming people and get their Instagram deleted or something, then it's no good. So I was like, I need to get at least one placement. So it was like November, December time. I was like, I'm just going to send out two or three beats every day to, to a bunch of emails that I can find on Instagram that sound similar to the, they use music similar to the beats that I make. So I sent out 3 or 4 beats every day, all the way through December. And then towards the middle of December, I went out on this work trip with, Duke of Edinburgh's award. I did some work with them, and I went to Nepal, and I had a little bit of time in the evening. So I was like sending out beats from the hotel. And then the next morning, whilst we was doing whilst I was helping out and was working, I got an email back from their management, and he was like, "Yeah, we're using I think it's called the Yao Ming beat." And I was like, "Oh, that's amazing." Didn't hear from them until like March, and then they released the song, and then they sent me contracts in between there, and I was like, had to sign stuff. But I basically just signed it without even looking at it. I was like, let's just get one placement done, and I'll take a loss on this one. Let's just get the song out. I wouldn't say shafted. I got paid, but I don't get any royalties for it.
Oh, okay. Well, at least you got.
Yeah. I just got a down payment.
Is the song gonna blow up?
I mean, well, it's done pretty well. Like I checked. So he released a song. I was like, it's quite catchy. I didn't like it at first, but I was like, I looked more into Shorty and listened to his music, and I was like, this is actually quite a good song. And then like a month later, I got a notification from his YouTube, and he released a music video for it. I was like, Jesus Christ, that's so cool. And then so I looked at the music video, and the video's got like 1 million. I think it's just hit 1 million views. The music video has. So I was like, that's pretty awesome. So it's helped indirectly, because I get a lot of people asking about that, a lot of producers, asking about that, and how I got it and everything. So that's helped indirectly, cool. With the YouTube stuff. But
I mean, sometimes you got to take a few, like, not losses, but like that's something that you can accept because it's put you on the map a bit more.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was the whole intention. I wasn't too bothered about getting my paperwork right, getting on my legal stuff right. I was just like, let me just put something out, something that I can use as a reference, credit, use as credit. So
I think that's sick. What are there any artists that you work with now that you think are like genuinely right? This guy's going to be like the next big thing.
Yeah, actually, yeah. You mentioned that there's a guy called Shine Grady. And I've been sending him beats. I was sending him beats. When I was sending him beats, I think I was sending him beats in January or February, and he's he was okay back then, but now like all of a sudden he just seems to have gotten like insanely good. He's been putting music on World Star Hip Hop. He dropped one with one of my beats on World Star Hip Hop as well, which was quite cool. But yeah, I think he's definitely got massive potential. He's, you can just sense that he's going to do well. He's got like weird hair. He's got like half his hair is red, half of it's black, and then he's got tattoos all over his face. He just looks like an industry kind of, artist. So yeah, I think he's probably going to do well.
Nice. And what would you say are your top 3 favorite plugins?
Top 3 favorite plugins. Effects or VSTs?
Whatever, a plugin is a plugin, isn't it?
I don't know. Maybe Van Haller Reverb. I use that in every beat. That's a good plugin. Korg Triton. I use
Oh,
that in
yeah,
most
yeah.
beat. Yeah. And Arcade
Yeah,
usual.
I thought you'd
Just
say that because you use it a lot.
yeah, just load it
I
up and bang a sample in.
is it
Yeah.
is that is the Output Arcade, is that like a subscription then?
Yeah, it's like $10 a month.
Yeah, because my beats just went from like one level to the next when I got the Slate Digital All Access Pass subscription.
Okay.
And if you want to like get better at mixing, this plugin has got like all of the best mixing plugins in the world. It's like $10 a month for 6 months, and it's like $15 a month after that. And they've got plugins that are modeled on the best analog gear. And I'm not kidding you, there's not really any difference. With you've got a plugin
Wow.
that you load in that's like a $3,000 compressor. In real life, but the digital version's like just as good. So check it out because I'm not
Okay.
kidding. You load up like there's this one. There's so many presets. So you've got a nice kick. It sounds good already, but you want it to sound even better. You load up one of their like kick presets, and it just sounds sick instantly. And there's so many
Yeah.
cool mixing things that I've been learning over the past few months because I really want to get my mixing good. And like since I got those, it's been sick. So the Slate Digital
Nice.
plugins they're the best plugins to mix with. Not so much like to get good sounds, you get those from your VSTs, but for like mixing your beat and stuff like that,
Yeah.
they're insane.
Nice. To be fair, I sleep on mixing too much. I literally use paid plugins for mixing and mastering. I've got the Waves CLA compressor.
That's a good one.
What else have I got? The Aphex Vintage Exciter. That one's saturation
Oh,
plugin.
nice.
And I just bought the Fab Filter Q3 EQ.
I've heard that's really good.
Yeah, it's amazing. But after that, like I just don't do anything else with mixing. I'm sleeping too much on mixing.
Sometimes you don't need to. Like if you're using good quality samples, the producer that made that sound is probably like compressed and EQ'd the hell out of it anyway. So you load it in and it sounds sick.
I do that with my kits. I pre-process them, so that's it's a selling point, and it's just way quicker.
Producers like to be able to make a beat very fast nowadays, and if you've got a banging kick or snare and it sounds sick already, you load it in. Sometimes you don't have to actually touch it, you can just level it out and it sounds sick. That's really cool. What do you think the next 5 years look like for you then?
I don't know, to be honest.
Are you the type of person that has like a 5-year plan, 10-year plan? Are you a little bit more?
Not as such. I just like to. I'd like to hit certain milestones. I suppose, like more short term, and then I guess the big picture would be make a comfortable amount of money to pay the bills, and then literally just not have to worry about money. YouTube, I'd like to hit the 100K at some point, maybe in the next 2 years, 2.5 years, maybe even sooner, hopefully, if a video blows up, but we'll see. I think it's more just a case of just chipping away at it.
Yeah, the same that you're doing now, but just on a bigger scale, basically. I think that's good.
Yeah, exactly. Just keep growing, really. I don't want to. Main thing is just try not to burn out, because you can get too carried away with something, and then 10 hours passing, your head's hurting and everything. You do that every day, it's going to take a toll. So just try and keep the longevity going. Yeah, thanks for having me, man. It's been good. It's my first podcast, by the way. This is
sick.
It's all new. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, most people who are like who've never done one before are always like, oh man, like I was a bit nervous, and I'm
Yeah.
like, you've literally no reason to be nervous. It's like,
You just talk.
yeah.
Yeah.
So some
I saw you
people,
did your. I saw you did the podcast with Wishmaster.
yeah, I was sick actually. Yeah, he's
How was
really,
that? Yeah.
yeah. It was, to be honest, I was a little nervous going in because he's like he's a producer that is earning like 20K a month.
Yeah.
He
He's
spends he
doing
spends
well.
he spends like 100 a day on ads.
Yeah.
And he has a school that he runs and teaches music production. He's a coach in the MIDI money community, and yeah,
Yeah.
he's selling beats on BeatStars, killing it. He's selling beats, doing beat bundles. He's killing it, and he's just had some big
Yeah.
placements as well with Rick Ross, Nelly, um, just so many people. So
He's an
it was
OG.
yeah, it was sick getting to know him a little bit more.
Yeah.
Uh, because I follow him in the MIDI money stuff. But yeah, it was sick getting to know him. And yeah, that's actually
Nice.
probably done one of the worst out of all my episodes.
No.
Yeah.
Fuck's sake. God damn it.
However, he was up for doing it, and I was expecting it to get more views, but I'm not doing it for the views. I'm doing it
Yeah.
to get to know the people,
Yeah.
and the more connections I have,
How did you contact him? Did you send him a DM or an
send him
email
a
or what?
Facebook message in
Oh,
the
nice.
because he's in the MIDI Money group. His Facebook
Okay.
personal profile comes up, and because I'm in that group too, he was just like, "Yeah, man, I'm up for it. When's good?" Because he knows that I am in that group, so he was just well up for
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
which
Oh,
was
that's
sick.
awesome.
Yeah, but
That's awesome.
I emailed a bunch of like YouTube rappers, like big name ones. So I have you heard of Crypt?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I sent him a DM because so many rappers that I'm friends with or I work with, they're all like, they all just love Crypt. Like they're obsessed with Crypt. He's the best, whatever.
Yeah.
So I was like, right, let me try and get him on the podcast. I didn't get him on. Um, it's really funny. I emailed Ocean, and he got back to me and said, I really want to do a podcast, so I need to chase that up. Ed Talante also said he's up
Hmm.
for doing a podcast one day. So I've got
Nice.
some people I need to follow up with because they're busy. They don't always have a chance to look at emails and things. So
Yeah, yeah.
I've got some bigger names coming on, but as much as this podcast is about music producers and artists, I really want it to be about people who are not as well known, so that
Yeah,
people
yeah.
can
So,
get to know them a bit more. And hopefully, when this podcast has got a bigger platform, if I get say this podcast gets a lot more views, like 5,000 views an episode, if I then interview
mm,
someone who's really, really talented, but they've got like 50 YouTube subscribers, they could end up
yeah,
getting like
yeah.
a couple hundred, and it's like doing a service to them because they're talented. So that's like the aim with this podcast. But if I can get a few bigger names on at the moment to grow it, I'm all
You
fine with
need
that.
that, yeah.
So
Exactly.
yeah, we're
Yeah.
just going to see how it
Get that
goes.
publicity first and
Yeah,
then build other people up. Yeah.
and then hopefully
Nice.
that.
I'm actually doing I'm doing Ocean's podcast on Monday,
Oh, sick!
weirdly.
Tell him
Yeah,
to
I was
get back. Tell
surprised.
him to email me back.
I will, yeah, I will.
Tell him.
Yeah, that was bizarre actually. I was in May, he DM'd me on Instagram. I was like, what the fuck? Like, because he's got like what 200,000 subs. I was
Yeah,
like,
he's
he
a
found
Logic
me,
Pro user, so I've got a lot of
and he's
respect
a
for
Logic
him.
Pro.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
same as me.
yeah. So so he just said, yeah, I've just seen your YouTube channel. Keep doing your thing. And then in a couple of days ago, he posted on his story about having a car. And we've just got a new car now. Well, not a new car, but a secondhand car.
Yeah.
And he was like, saying it's so much better, just having a car. I was like, yeah, tell me about it. Like, it's just especially here, like, there's so much you can do so much more when you have a car. And then he's like, oh yeah, by the way, do you want to do the podcast? I was like, yes, yes, definitely.
Well,
So yeah,
I've helped warm you up to start answering those questions.
yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah,
No,
that's
no,
sick.
it's been good, man. It's been good.
Yeah, Ocean's cool.
Yeah,
What's really cool about his channel is I used to see him just make beats just by clicking in MIDI or on the odd MIDI keyboard, but he's
yeah,
actually been developing as a musician as well, and starting to learn guitar, and I think he's been learning piano as well, which is really cool to see his sort of development as well.
Yeah.
And that's cool.
He's absolutely smashed it, man. Like he's like a like pure example of consistency. Like I was, you know, you have those days where you're like, oh, nothing's going well here. Like, what's the point anymore? So I checked. I was like, I just went on Social Blade and looked at a few people. I checked out Ocean's stuff, and I looked at when he started, and he started only like 3 months before I did. And I checked. So I looked at his uploads was like double mine. He's, you know, like maybe triple almost, I think. So he'd been uploading like at least once a day, sometimes every day, you know, and he was hitting the same keywords, you know, hitting all the same topics, and he's just done that and then completely smashed it. So yeah, if that's just it. If you've got the time to do it and you've got like a year, 2 years spare, like that's the best thing to do. Just do it every single day and just see what happens.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got where he is now doing that.
Yeah,
so.
you never know, and it's good to see. And his beats are good as well. And yeah, it's great to see. So I hope that goes well. Anyway, it's going to be good to. And he's got a shit ton of subscribers, so you might get some from that. You never know.
Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah, that'll be really good.
Look forward to it, man.
Happy days. But anyway, bro, we should probably end it there because we went on a bit of a tangent,
Okay.
but it was worth it. It was totally worth it. My missus is going away for a weekend with her girlfriends, so I need to. I'm gonna have a lot of time to myself making music and stuff. So she's going literally in 15 minutes, so I'm gonna say bye, and then I'm gonna and then I'm gonna get right to it. But yeah, thanks for coming on, bro. It's been sick, and we should stay in touch as well.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. Yeah, I will make sure to mention you to Ocean as well next week.
Oh, it's fine.
Because he's probably just forgotten.
Yeah, if you don't, whatever, it's it's totally cool. But yeah, anyway, man, thanks a lot, and I'll see you later.
Good, man.
See you later.
Yeah, take care.
Thank you for listening to the Beats and Bars podcast. I'm your host, BATTL Beats. See you next week.
It's BATTL.